Alright, y'all, let me talk to you for a minute. Life, I'm telling you, is the craziest show on earth. You think you know what's coming next? You think you got the script? Please. Life will take that script you wrote, ball it up, and throw it right out the window. 1 minute you're just walking down the street minding your own business, thinking about what you're gonna have for lunch. The next minute a piano could be falling out of the sky. You wake up every day and you have a plan. You're gonna get up, brush your teeth, go to work, come home, A to B to C. Simple, right? But life doesn't always do simple. Sometimes life throws a curveball at you so fast you don't even see it coming. Then, out of nowhere, a car loses control and smashes into another car. But then, one of those cars goes flying and it hits a huge utility pole. This ain't no little stick. This is a big, heavy wooden pole. And it snaps at the base like a toothpick. Where do you think it's headed? Right for our guy. He is still just walking, completely unaware of the chaos behind him. The pole comes crashing down. From the angle of the security camera you can see it falling. You just know it's going to hit him. There is no way he gets out of this. You hold your breath, you brace yourself for the worst. The pole is milliseconds from crushing him. But then, something absolutely incredible happens. The pole smashes into the ground, missing him by inches. Not feet, y'all. Inches. It lands right beside him, close enough for him to feel the wind from it. It was so close it's like death swung and missed. Can you imagine? 1 second you're thinking about your grocery list. The next second a 2-ton piece of wood tries to turn you into a pancake. The man just stops. He turns around. He looks at the pole. He looks at the car wreck. And then just keeps on walking. I think he was in shock. He didn't even run. He looked at it like it was a minor inconvenience, like somebody had dropped a newspaper next to him. That man used up a lifetime supply of good fortune in that single moment. He should have gone and bought a lottery ticket right then and there. What makes this so crazy is the timing. If he had been walking just a little bit faster, or a little bit slower, the story would have a very different, very tragic ending. It was a perfect storm of bad luck for the cars and the pole, but a perfect miracle of good luck for him. It just goes to show you that sometimes being in the right place at the right time is a matter of millimeters and milliseconds. That man got a second chance at life and he didn't even have to ask for it. Unbelievable. Alright, now let's talk about falling from the sky. Most of us are scared of falling off a ladder. Now imagine falling out of a plane. That's what skydivers do for fun. But they have a parachute, right? Well, what happens when it doesn't work? I'm talking about a man who jumped out of a plane at 13,500 feet. He's a veteran, done this 1,000 times. He goes to pull his main parachute. Nothing. It fails. Okay, that's terrifying. But that's why you have a reserve parachute, right? So he cuts away the main one and goes for the reserve. Guess what? That one fails too. Now he is in a true free fall, plummeting toward the earth at over 120 miles per hour. No parachute, no hope. Can you even wrap your mind around that? The ground is just rushing up to meet you. You have minutes, no, seconds to think about your entire life. You know this is the end. The camera on his helmet recorded the whole thing. You can see the panic, the desperation as he spins through the air, trying anything to slow himself down. It is absolutely horrifying to watch, knowing what's supposed to happen when a person hits the ground at that speed. But here is where the story turns from a tragedy into a miracle. He was aiming for a safe landing zone, but now he's just a passenger on a one-way trip down. But by some twist of fate, he lands in a blackberry bush. Not just any bush, a huge, thick, thorny blackberry bush growing on a gentle slope. This bush, y'all, acted like a giant natural airbag. The thousands of thorny branches snagged his clothes and slowed his descent just enough. It cushioned his impact in a way that concrete or even an open field never could have. He hit that bush and survived. Let me say that again. He fell from over 2 miles up with no parachute and survived. He had broken bones, internal injuries, you better believe it. But he was alive. Doctors, experts, fellow skydivers, they all said the same thing. It's impossible. The odds are 1 in a million, 1 in a billion. It was a pure statistical miracle. Some people have close calls, and then some people have this. There's this video from a railroad crossing. It's one of those crossings with the big arms that come down to block the road when a train is coming. The lights are flashing, the bells are ringing. Everybody knows what that means. Stop. A train is coming, and it's coming fast. We see a cyclist just riding along. He decides he can beat it. We've all had that thought. Oh, I can make it. But this ain't a yellow light at an intersection. This is a train. He rides his bike right around the crossing arm. He's not even pedaling that fast. He's just cruising. Front wheel over the first track, back wheel over the first track. He's clear of the first track. There's another set of tracks right next to it. On that second track, a high-speed passenger train barrels down at full tilt. The camera angle is perfect. You see the cyclist. You see the front of the train enter the frame. They're on a collision course. There is absolutely no time. In the blink of an eye, the train screams past. It doesn't hit him. It misses him by, I am not exaggerating, a whisker. The wind from the train almost knocks him off his bike. The train is a blur of metal and speed. It passes less than an inch behind his back tire. If he had been a fraction of a second slower, if he had wobbled, if he had paused for even a heartbeat, he would have been completely obliterated. There would have been nothing left. He didn't even realize what happened until the train was gone. He stops his bike on the other side and looks back. You can see the moment the realization hits him. The moment he understands he was almost erased from existence. He stands there straddling his bike, heart pounding. This wasn't luck. This was some kind of dimensional rift, a glitch in the matrix. He defied physics. Surviving that doesn't compute. Don't play chicken with the train, y'all. Just don't. Okay, let's talk about Mother Nature. She is beautiful, but she can be terrifying. Nothing is more terrifying than a bolt of lightning. It's pure raw power from the sky. You're taught from a young age, when there's a thunderstorm you get inside. You don't stand under a tree. You don't hold up a metal pole. You definitely don't just stand out in the open. There's a video of a man who apparently missed that lesson. He's standing in his driveway next to his car as a storm rolls in. The sky is dark and angry. He's just standing there looking around. Maybe he's checking on his property. Suddenly, without any warning, a massive bolt of lightning comes down from the sky. It doesn't hit a tree in the distance. It doesn't hit a telephone pole down the street. It strikes the ground not 5 feet away from him. The explosion of light is blinding. It's so bright it whites out the security camera for a second. An instantaneous deafening crack of thunder, like a bomb went off right next to his ear. Sparks fly everywhere. The man is thrown to the ground by the blast. The energy knocks him off his feet. For a second you think he's been hit. You think he's gone. The odds of surviving a direct or nearby lightning strike are incredibly low. The heat and electricity are just too much for the human body. But then, you see him move. He scrambles to his feet, panicked, and runs for the safety of his house. He was so close the charge could have jumped to him, stopping his heart instantly. He was standing in the kill zone. Gas stations are convenient, right? You pull in, you fill up your tank, you grab a snack, and you're on your way. We're surrounded by thousands of gallons of flammable liquid. One little spark is all it takes. This next story shows how fast things can go wrong. Security camera view. A car pulls up to a pump. A woman gets out. She starts the pump. For some reason a fire erupts. Not a small fire. A sudden violent eruption of flames. Flames engulf the side of her car. Flames engulf the pump. The woman is standing right there. Fire at her feet, climbing up the car. Her first instinct, panic. She jumps back. Then she does something that seems crazy. She tries to pull the nozzle out. Maybe she thought it would stop the fire, but it's feeding the flames. The flames get bigger, more intense. She is surrounded by a wall of fire. The whole gas station becomes a ticking time bomb. Any second it could explode. She realizes pulling the nozzle isn't working. The fire is out of control, so she does the only thing she can do. She runs. She sprints toward the convenience store. Not a moment too soon. A few feet away, pressure builds. The pump explodes. A massive fireball erupts. Flames fly through the air. Shrapnel flies through the air, right where she was standing seconds before. A Hollywood-level explosion, but real. If she'd hesitated one more second, if she'd kept trying to fight, she would have been caught in the blast. Her timing was impeccable. A split-second decision, fight or flight. She chose flight. Her car was destroyed. The pump was a melted wreck, but she walked away without a scratch. That's the kind of luck that makes you want to go to church every Sunday. Some people are lucky because they're quick. They react fast and get out of the way. And then there are people who are lucky because they do absolutely nothing at all. This next one is wild, y'all. We're watching a busy street in a big city. People are walking, cars are driving. It's just a normal day. In the background, you can see a huge construction crane towering over the buildings. Suddenly, the long arm of the crane, the jib, just snaps off. It's a massive piece of steel, weighing tons, and it's falling from hundreds of feet in the air. It falls down toward the street below, right into the path of pedestrians. People start screaming and running for their lives. It is pure chaos. Everyone is scattering, trying to get out from under the shadow of this falling metal monster. Everyone, that is, except for one woman. She's just walking along the sidewalk holding a bag, maybe on her way home from shopping. She seems completely oblivious. She's not running. She's not even looking up. She has no idea that tons of steel are about to rain down from the sky. The crane arm comes crashing down onto the street and the sidewalk. It smashes cars. It crushes the pavement, and it sends debris flying everywhere. It lands all around her. A huge section of it slams into the ground directly in front of her, missing her by maybe a foot. Another piece lands right behind her. She is literally standing in a tiny, perfect circle of safety while utter destruction happens all around her. Sometimes danger comes from where you least expect it. It doesn't have to be a crane falling or a train speeding by. It can be something as simple as a car rolling down a hill. This video shows a man walking on a sidewalk next to a fairly steep road. He's on his phone, not paying much attention to the world around him. We've all been there. Behind him and up the hill, a parked car starts to roll. Maybe the parking brake failed, maybe it wasn't set right. Whatever the reason, this car is now a silent 2-ton missile rolling down the street. The car picks up speed as it comes down the hill. It's not going straight, it starts to drift, to veer right toward the sidewalk, right toward our guy, who is still on his phone, completely unaware. The car mounts the curb, still picking up speed. It's on a direct path to hit him from behind. He has no idea it's coming. You're watching the video, and you want to scream at the screen, "Look out! Turn around!" But he just keeps walking, tapping away at his phone. There is no way he's not going to get hit. And then the magic happens. Just as the car is about to plow right into him, it clips a short metal signpost on the edge of the sidewalk. It's not a big post, but it's just enough. The impact with the post deflects the car's trajectory ever so slightly. It changes its path by just a few degrees. The car shoots past the man, missing his back by inches. It continues across the sidewalk and smashes into the front of a building with a huge crash. The sound of the impact is the first thing that alerts him that something is wrong. He finally looks up from his phone, turns around, and sees a car embedded in the wall right behind him. He sees the path of destruction. He sees the bent signpost that saved his life. He had no idea. He was saved by a random piece of street furniture that he probably never even noticed before. It's a chilling reminder to maybe, just maybe, look up from your phone every once in a while. So what have we learned here today? We've seen people walk away from things that should have been the end of their story. A falling pole, a failed parachute, a speeding train, a bolt of lightning, an exploding gas station, a collapsing crane, a runaway car. 10 different stories, 10 different people, but they all share one thing in common: a powerful, unbelievable dose of pure luck. They were just living their lives, and in a flash they were faced with a moment that could have been their last. But it wasn't. They got a second chance. These stories are more than entertainment. They're not just wow moments to share online. They are profound reminders of how fragile and unpredictable life really is. We make plans, we worry about the little things, we stress about work and bills, but at the end of the day, so much is out of our control. These videos show the razor-thin line between a normal day and a final day. It's thinner than we could ever imagine. Sometimes all that stands between you and the other side is a blackberry bush, or a signpost. It can be scary to think about, I know, but look at it a different way. Don't let it scare you, let it inspire you, let it fill you with hope. Even when everything goes wrong, when the odds are 1,000,000 to 1 against you, there's still a chance. There's still hope. There's still that thing called luck. Miracles, big and small, can and do happen every day. Most of the time we don't even notice them. But they're there. We are all luckier than we think. So when you wake up tomorrow, take a second. Take a deep breath. Appreciate that you're here.